Well, that's a very soulful track, and I like how you mix up the instrumentation between the tracks just enough to make them distinctly different from each other, but they all, still fit into the cohesive whole. I mean, your voice and piano bind it all together as a constant through line. What I mean is like when you incorporate the background singers, as a listener, you notice because you do it sparingly.
Yes, well, thank you. I mean, I would say that is like the constant thread is the voice and piano, and that really is it. But I believe that as a listener, you want ear candy. You just don't want the same sounds going the whole time. I mean, I believe in variety, and I guess my style has become the fact that I don't see boundaries or walls, that stop me from playing in the style that I know and love, because they're my vocabulary. That's how I grew up. That's what I grew up listening to, was all this music, from opera and classical music to R&B and jazz and Motown and folk and everything, and punk, for God's sake, and rock and everything in between. And that to me, I don't see any walls. I don't see boundaries. I just see that music is your vocabulary. I mean, that's really it. And I love, it's one of the reasons I love hearing music on shuffle. When you've got your old, when I'm listening to music in the car and I'm got it on Bluetooth, I'm listening to all music. I just love variety. I've always thought, it's great when you hear all that stuff. I think that's why people, it's like being your own DJ. It's great. So that's what I try and bring to these albums.
Well, I don't want there to be any mystery about the next one I'm going to play. I'm sure there is no mystery about it in Judith's mind, because the name of the song is Mystery. So what mystery did you hope to unravel with that one?
Mystery is one of the songs, and I think there isn't as many non-social commentary as there are social commentary songs, which is why that's the balance, because that is what life is about. It's, again, it's about the world being the most beautiful place and also being the most troubled place. And I think you have to grasp both those things. That's what true life is. It's amazing and awful within a split second. And mystery is really about how any of us meet any of our partners in life is a mystery. When you think about it, how you turn a corner, how you decide that you're going to go to a restaurant one night when you weren't really feeling up to it, or going to anywhere, and then you happen to bump into and meet the person that will spend, a portion of your life with, if not your whole life with. It's astounding. And my experience of it, and what I try and say in it, is that, God knows there's enough people that find the loves of their lives, or the love of their life, online. But I'm always amazed by, when you don't do it that way, by the flukes in this world that bring you to another person. I mean, for example, I had a friend who just sort of was constantly online, looking for their partner, goes to a party one night, meets the woman of his dreams. That was it. Wasn't expecting it, didn't even want to go. It was one of those things. I just find all of that doors part of life, I find it incredible. And it's also a realistic, it's a true love song, because it's realistic, because it says, about how hard it is. Today we might quarrel, but tomorrow we'll be fine. I mean, that's the thing about love, is that it's really hard work being with someone else and sharing your space, but it's worth it until it's not, of course. And then that's a different thing. But it's kind of chemical magic, to me. It's all a bit magical how we find our partners. But that's the same throughout the whole animal planet. I mean, I watch enough nature programs, but I'm always amazed and shocked and blown away by our fellow animals, because I just love animals so much. I think, life would be unbearable without animals in my life, without my dog, without my cats, but definitely without my dog, I have to say. Life would be unbearable. But I watch a lot of animal programs, and I'm always amazed. The courtship, how animals find each other, the lengths to which they go through to meet each other, the things that happen, how it's all some great mystery. So I thought I had to write about it, and it's done in an almost, as you'll hear, the song is almost has a kind of very quaint, simple, almost Mozart-like. I would never compare myself to the genius of Mozart, but you know what I'm saying? It's got a very kind of Baroque sweetness to it. And I think that I chose that because it's just very much a timeless topic, but it's just, it is something that has been with us forever and will be with us forever. But it's as close as I can get to writing a love song. That's all I can say, and it's my kind of love song.
Well, let's give a listen to this Judith's take on Mozart. I'm teasing. This is a beautiful song from somebody's child. This is called Mystery.
Say love's a mystery, and we think about it all the time. You can't ever force it, it's just something that you'll find. 'Cause for all you're waiting, it's never where you thought it would be. Ooh, they say love's a mystery, and you're the mystery for me. I go to sleep at night when I hold you in my arms. I might sleep soundly, I might just wonder at your charms. How it ever came that one day you would find me. Love is a mystery, and that's the way it's meant to be. 'Cause who can know where you find the flame? Your heart gets hurt, but you try again. Walk down that road till they come into you. Say love's a mystery. It takes patience, it takes time. Today we might quarrel, but tomorrow will be fine. 'Cause you make me smile, bring out the best in me. Love is a mystery, and you're the mystery for me. Yes, love is a mystery, and you're the mystery for me. Oh, la 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 la.
I really love the way Waddy's guitar meshes with your piano playing on that track. It almost sounds like one single instrument.
So the thing which is amazing about Waddy is that you always think of him as being a rock guitarist. He has got the sweetest touch, and he has got the sweetest sensibilities when it comes to playing and playing acoustically like that. It's absolutely divine.
And I hear some cello accents in there as well by your longtime collaborator, Gabriella Swallow. I told her I was going to be interviewing you again, and I asked her if she had like a testimonial to contribute. And she did. This is what she has to say. Judith and I have collaborated for 10 years this year. Every time we meet, I look forward to that moment her fingers touch the keys and we begin another musical journey. Her songwriting is out of this world, and the beauty of our relationship is that I feel instinctively what she will do next, but I'm also at the same time surprised, if that makes any sense. Can't wait to get back on the road with her and the rest of our musical family.
She's a spectacular player, and she's what I look for in musicians, but it's always been that way with Gabby and me. She's a passionate person, and she's instilled with drama, as am I, and so we really, really mirror each other. So when I've written a song and when I'm ready to actually to move to the next level, which of course is the collaboration with my beautiful musicians, Gabby's always been one of the first people that I think very much in strings, again, back to the classical place. And there's something so rare and magical when it's the two of us in a room playing these things for the first time. It just fills you up, and her playing makes me swoon, as the cello is meant to when it's played by a brilliant player. You are meant to swoon. It's the closest thing to the human voice, and it really gets into your soul. And it's a wonderful relationship that we've had all these years. It really, really is. And I know now, and I can tell you, I feel that the next album, which I'm working on this year, because it's about time I had another album out, it will be very string heavy. It will be moving into that very, very lush, beatific place. I mean, I feel so happy when I've got my gals. You know, it's like Gabby got the beautiful Lizzie Ball. It's just an incredible violinist, and Megan Cassidy on viola, another incredible player. The three of them together playing. We just did something, the four of us, at the Wallace Collection, which is a museum in London, filled with old masters. Like I'm in a room where the Laughing Cavalier is hanging on the other side of the room from me. It was astounding. And so we did this chamber version of Somebody's Child and of some new songs as well. And it's exhilarating. It's utterly exhilarating, because it took about being in a room with people, or in that situation, talking about, post the Brian Ferry show. There's something incredible when you hear strings, when you hear strings in that situation, and you hear these songs, right down to the bare bones, the way that I wrote them, in the most pure way. There's something very moving about this. I mean, strings just rule my world. That's all I can say. I just love it. I love it. So that's what to expect next.
Okay.
So a lot of work to be done. A lot of work that Gabby and Lizzie, who'll be on the road with me in August, hopefully we'll get to do together. But Gabby is a very beautiful and special person and player. I mean, that's for sure. Anybody that sees her playing, apart from me and with me, can see that. You can see the emotion going straight into that instrument. And I think that's really what it's all about, isn't it? It's about, how it feels when you see somebody, and that's what music, when music is your religion, small religion, but you know what I'm saying. When it's your life and that it's that important to you, you can see it in the person. You can see it just coming through their body into their instrument, and it's a really thrilling thing to watch.
Absolutely, and the fact that people like her and like Lee want to work with you, to the amount of time that they put in recording and touring and everything, is an indication that it's a mutual symbiosis.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I like to make sure that the performers, especially live, are appreciated. And I don't like to be selfish on stage. I don't like selfishness with great musicians. So I feel that my musicians love the music, but also I feel that it's very important, and I feel that they appreciate being appreciated by me, but me in a live situation to an audience. I think it's very, very important that you choose the best, and you're proud of playing with the best, and you share all of that with your audience in the knowledge that the bar has been raised hugely. I'm not a fan when I see great artists, great musicians on stage, and you never even get to hear who they are, what they are. You never get to see them shine. I'm not such a fan. But my music is very particular to that. My music allows musicians to really play in a way that's not, it's not by rote. You don't play the same thing every single night. There are parts, yes. There are things that we play. We all know the structure of the songs. I'm leading, but there are moments where you actually get to be magical, and each person gets to have that exquisite moment where they can shine. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, and you would think that would be common sense, but I know a lot of musicians who play in high-profile gigs and tell me that is not the experience they have. Like you said, the quote-unquote boss has an ego and doesn't want to be upstaged or doesn't want to acknowledge them and show that
Correct.
Appreciation. They figure, well, you're getting paid.
Yeah, and everybody is, and that is, everybody is being paid, and that is the basis of all of this. Let's be honest. This is commerce. This is your job. This is the industry that you're in. You're doing a job. But within that, I feel that, I mean, we all have egos, every one of us, you know, every one of my band has. But the important thing to remember is that you should, as I said, by surrounding yourself with the best, you should not only be proud that you're surrounded by the best, but you should be acknowledging, to me, you acknowledge it and you let the best shine. And if you don't, it means that you're too insecure. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's the truth, I believe. It means that you're too insecure about your own gifts, or you think somehow that them shining is going to make you look like crap. But it's insane. It can only make it better.
Yeah.
It can only make it better.
Of course.
And you know, as an entirety as a show, it's thrilling. Yeah. It's thrilling, and that is the thing about music. I must say, unlike any other art form, when you're on stage, and maybe it's because I come from not just classical but a jazz world where people get to solo, where people get to shine, where people get to actually do things differently every single night, you know, and that makes the rest of your bandmates just go, oh my God, that was incredible. You know, I mean, that's part of the conversation you have on stage is astounding. And when you're on stage playing, you are looking at your fellow musicians, and I, who am the artist, and who am there, you know, leading, and I'm the center of it all. I'm hearing them play stuff, and my heart fills, and I'm thrilled at the playing, and I'm thrilled by what they're doing, and we're looking at each other and enjoying each other's playing. And that's a kind of community that I don't believe you get in any other art form. I just don't see it. I don't see it in anything else. I mean, it can't be in theatre, because then you can to a certain extent, but you're reading the same lines every single night. You're doing the same thing every single night. You're hitting your mark, and you can really enjoy each other's performance that night. I get that. I mean, I'm trained as an actress. I know that. But there's something about hearing people actually create music on stage and take risks and be on, you know, the high wire, you know, doing things to make each other beam and thrill, not just the audience, but each other on stage. It's really very, very special.
I mentioned at the beginning there were 2 covers on the album. Last time you were here, we spoke about your fondness for repurposing male songs, like In the Summertime and Smoke on the Water, as female songs. You'll have to explain to us how this cover fits or possibly doesn't fit that concept. But rather than spoil the surprise, I just want to play it first and then talk about it afterwards. This is another great collaboration with Russ, Lee, and Waddy in their roles as your able accompaniment. So let's spin this and see how long it takes everyone to recognize it.
When the moon is in the 7th house, Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets. Love will steal the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. Don't you know? Golden living dreams of visions. We call it Aquarius. and peace will guide the planets. Love will steal the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius.
So obviously you've changed the rhythm and reharmonized the chords. Is that an actual key change I hear in the chorus?
Oh yeah, I think this is in 3 keys. Actually, this song I think goes into such ridiculous places. But it all began sound checking 2 years ago when we were doing the British tour of the Brian Ferry tour, and then I just found these amazing chords, and we were all playing along, jamming along. And I just started singing Aquarius over the top. And I guess it's because I've always found it to be, typical of my brain and my sense of humor. Both, I just love it. And I also think it's of a time, but it's also kind of hokey and a bit silly, and the lyrics are kind of a bit, but it's wonderful at the same time. It's like a guilty pleasure of mine. And so I just started playing it and thought, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. And also that thing about not recognizing it until you get a little bit into it, because when I play it now live, I can hear the audience within a minute. I literally, by the time I'd sung When the Moon, I started singing When the Moon is in the, and you can see people are just like, what? And there was a ripple of shock, laughter, and applause. And then this version is so kind of like LSD trippy and all the rest of it, which is fantastic. The version it now is, it grows as everything does when you do it live. It's turned into the biggest, most outrageous, wild experience. It really is thrilling live. I've got to release a couple of the live versions so people can hear what it's turned into, because it's absolutely ridiculous, and there's like completely insane effects on my voice that make it sounds like it's absolutely trippy and fantastic. Yeah. But it appeals to my sense of humor, and at the same time, again, just think about me. I recorded this 2 years ago. I toured it all over Europe, and then it was released in America this year. So imagine my joy that I'm now singing about a time when it was the first time that people were marching in the streets and getting political, and it's like, everybody was out there being love and peace and, no war, please. And I'm singing this at the time when there were all these people were in the streets marching. It was just like, this is incredible. I did it because I wanted it to be the 21st century version of this song. I felt like I brought it up to date and turned it again on its head and made it this like muscular thing. Yeah. But it really is, it's kind of interesting how I was thinking about stuff that had meaning at our present time. It's very, very interesting. But at the end of it, this is always the last song in the live show. Of course, How Can You Follow This? And it would usually end up with people jumping in the aisles and screaming, because it was just such a joy and everybody would go nuts. And, but it was, and then, but, I like to take people through a roller coaster of a ride in a show, because I want you to laugh, I want you to cry, I want to talk, I want to reach you, I want to connect with you, I want you to feel like you're in my living room. I want this to be a truly intimate experience, even in these huge 2,000, 3,000 seater rooms. But, I want it to, whether it's that or whether it's 20 people or 200 people, I don't care. I want it to be this experience where you feel like you're in my world, and it's very intimate. And so, these songs are a bit of a emotional roller coaster.